I upgraded Chrome and everything is fine. It was just Firefox sucks ass.
Oh my god. Welcome back to the Hotpot Podcast with Sen, Becky, and Bonnie. Last week, we talked about Korean Contenders Finals and Expansion Team social media, and after that episode, we ran out of content. So, this week, we're going to discuss Ryujehong's hairstyles over his esports career. Yes.
Very important
We're doing
content.
this. Yes, that's right. We're doing this. We're doing this for real.
Yep, tight 25 to 30 minutes of content.
Exactly.
Just like the people want.
Yes, just like everyone asked for, as in we asked for.
Yeah.
It's happening. So this topic came about because clearly we, as an Overwatch esports community, have been through an emotional roller coaster when it comes to Jaehong's hair. And we've just never had a conversation about it at all. We've never talked about, yeah.
I just think that we as fans are so resilient for going through this journey with him. Like, any other mere normal fan, if you can love Jaehong through his mullet, you can love him through anything.
If you love him through his buzz cut, through his, you know, we're gonna come up with words for what that was at All Stars. We're gonna come up with some phrasing to adequately describe that state of hair. But yeah, so we're going to talk about how his hair made us feel, what it put us through, and initially the plan was to rank the hairstyles, but that might end up being too difficult of a task. So
I think his hair just transcends any ranking system.
It does. I mean, you know that there are people out there who liked his all-star hairstyle.
I mean, there are people out there who just have bad taste, and that's valid. There
are just people out there who are wrong, and that's not their fault.
Not everybody has the same access to glasses as we do, and we should be thankful that we have this privilege.
We should count our blessings.
We should.
All right, we can get started on the first one. This is a classic Jaehong hairstyle. So classic, in fact, that it precedes even his Overwatch career.
Yes.
So this one's called Mullet Jaehong. Sen, out of 10, what would you give this?
I like guys with long hair, so I would give this I would give it a 7 because it's unstyled. However, it may be era appropriate.
Really, I find this repellent.
I like guys with long hair. You know, I would never rank a Jaehong hairstyle anything below a 5, except for maybe his buzz cut.
Can you guys actually check the Discord? 1 second. I'm going to send a photo over Discord real quick, and I think this should be included in the list of.
Yes.
Here we go. So this is in the mullet era, and we can add this to the PowerPoint later on, but there's this in particular with the top knot, not even a man bun. This is a top knot with the mullet. That Korean fans like to call slave chaser, because there was a very popular drama about these bounty hunters who went around chasing serfs and slaves in the pre-modern Joseon era, and they had a hairstyle like this. So we call him slave chaser Jaehong.
I don't know. I find all this very disgusting. Different strokes, I suppose, but I do not like any of this at all. I much prefer when he got his wits about him and decided, actually, this looks ugly. I'm going to cut my hair. And then he regressed later on, which I was disappointed in. I feel like Sen's biased here.
That is biased here.
Just generally. But, yeah, well, how are we going to have a fair, serious discussion of Ryujehong's hairstyles when we have someone so clearly biased on the panel?
I mean, this is why we're not ranking
keep
it.
my personal biases to myself.
This is why we're not ranking it.
I guess, yeah. Our rankings would be wildly different. I would put this at, like, second last place. But yes, moving past long hair Jaehong. I put these in random order, by the way. The next one is the one I like to call the transitional period, which was between like short hair and weird long hair, like
Correct.
shoulder length hair, on his journey to having a man bun, there was a transitional period, and because gamers don't have taste, he didn't realize he should have just stopped there. But I do think that this was one of his better hairstyles. Personally, out of 10, I would give this about a 7.5.
I would agree with you there. I think this is a solid 7 to between 7 and 8 range.
I would give it an 8. It would be bumped up to an 8.5 if he had shaved his sides, but they've grown out a little.
Yeah, because he's on the way to the man bun. He's on his journey. And he's so focused on his goal that he doesn't even realize he has to appreciate what comes between there, you know?
He doesn't really, friends we made along the way. All that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was so single-minded in achieving a man bun that he forgot to appreciate what he already had. And I think
Don't we all?
Hindsight is 2020.
I think that's reflective of a very human condition. And we could all learn a lot from the way Ryujehong decided to handle the great hair transition of 2018.
Hot Pot Podcast, folks, where we give you life advice and like philosophical musings with your esports content.
Anyway, yeah, 7.5 out of 10. On his way down. Alright, the next one is actually what he achieved later on. I don't even know how to describe this one.
This is the Reaper look, isn't it?
Yes,
This is the Reaped look, yeah.
Yeah, that referring to the League of Legends coach, Reaper. What team was he a coach of?
I don't know.
Cloud9, apparently,
Cloud9.
according to the whispered
Okay, yeah.
intel.
He's the head coach for the Cloud9 League of Legends team. And he has basically this exact hairstyle at some point. Oh, here we go. This fucking hairstyle right here.
Yeah. Yes, someone in my Discord posted earlier that Korean fans thought he looked a lot like Snape in this era.
There is a Snape vibe, for
Yeah.
sure.
There is.
Except his hair has a little more volume. Did he ever get that man bun?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, he gave up right before
He gave up before
maybe-
it went full man bun.
Or maybe the anticipation had built up so much over a few months. He was like, oh, this looks ugly as fuck, but it's all gonna be worth it when I get my man bun. And he built it up in his head for so long. He like hyped himself up for it in front of the mirror. He was like, one of these days, I'm gonna get that man bun. And then when the day finally came, when he realized his hair was long enough, he did it in the mirror, and he realized it looked ugly.
I mean, again, this is a classic philosophical argument that the fantasy of something is always better than the real life version of anything. This is a very classic predicament that we all find ourselves in. There's really the fantasy of what you yearn for is always the best version of what that's going to be. So, I could
Exactly.
we can identify with that phenomenon, can't we?
Yes, Ryujehong's hair really is the most relatable thing in esports. Through that, we find common understanding.
It's an emotional journey.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm really glad I'm doing this with you guys. I don't think I could have done it alone. This overview, like journey down memory lane. I don't think I have the emotional fortitude to. Anyway, so what are we giving this out of a 10, ladies?
Oh well, my thoughts on it. Like 4.
Or I actually
I'd give it
yeah. Go
I
ahead.
would give it a 5.
I would give it a 5 too, just because I'm jealous of the volume. I think he gets very nice volume, and that's not easy to achieve.
He probably doesn't even know. He doesn't even know what he has. Yeah.
Doesn't appreciate.
Appreciate what you have, Jaehong. Again.
Exactly. Sen, what about you?
All right.
Oh, I'd give it a 5.
Okay. So that is the lowest Sen is willing to go, which shows how she feels about it. Right, the next one, I have captioned, I would like to speak with your manager. I'm not sure exactly when this is from,
This
but...
is from his STX days when he was playing Special Force.
Okay, that's what I figured, because it looks very funny. He
Very
looks
young.
like... I went to Japan in the summer of 2017, and I saw this big billboard with, like, an ad for, like, Japanese idols, and they all had the same haircut as Jaehoong has in this picture.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, this looks like every boy I knew in high school. Every Asian boy. Like, you know, those little teeny boppers? I mean, it's a bit
This
shorter.
is a very
but then-
classic Asian boy hairstyle, I'll agree.
No, like, okay, when I went to a very Christian high school, and we had very strict rules on the length your hair could be. And so, basically the rules were, the hair couldn't touch your ears, it couldn't touch the top of your ears, and it wasn't allowed to go past your eyebrows if you were a boy. But what Jaehong has done here is that his bangs are conveniently cut just above his eyebrows, so they don't touch his eyebrows, and it's styled in such a way that it doesn't touch his eyebrows, much like the Asian boys of my high school years. And what he's done with his hair is that he's pulled all the long bits in front of his ears, so it doesn't actually touch his ears, thus skirting those oppressive high school rules. So this looks like every boy I knew in high school. He looks like a walking Gatsby commercial.
Wow. For those of
Gatsby,
us
moving
not in the
rubber.
know, Gatsby is a brand of hair. It's not hair gel. It's pomade.
It's like it's a wax. It's a hair wax.
Hair wax. There we go. I think it's Japanese.
It's Japanese, and it was all the rage when I was in high school.
Oh yes.
I had the purple one, but my friends swore by the green one. What color
All right.
Gatsby would Jaehong use? Let's discuss.
Let's discuss. A later episode for sure. I feel like
I can't contribute because I'm only learning about this just now with everyone else.
First of all, this hair really doesn't exist on its own in a vacuum. It exists with that somewhat heinous turquoise jacket that he's wearing. It's really a whole package. The polo neck, the white jacket inside, the turquoise jacket, and then the hair. This is a package together. And it's, you know what it is? It's like a really young ski instructor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at this picture long enough, it starts to look like his face got photoshopped in there. Like, it doesn't belong there.
No, I was just thinking it's the combination between like the turtleneck, the little jacket, and the puffy jacket that gives me like Asian auntie vibes.
Exactly. Like he wouldn't know. Like he comes to visit your family for like the new year or whatever, and he doesn't know you well enough. So he gives you money as a gift.
But you open the red pocket and there's only $20 inside.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know you well enough to give you
Yeah.
50 or 100.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Jaehoong fluctuates between like distant aunt and distant uncle, which sound like they should be related things, but they're actually quite different. For example, an uncle who doesn't know you well enough comes over and buys you like an Xbox for Christmas, and your parents are like, "Oh, great, thanks. Thank you for buying our child this gaming console." And he's like, "Yeah, no problem. Kids love games." And they're like, "Yeah, this is going to be so easy to regulate." You know?
So I think there's two takeaways here. The first being there's you and Sen's description of distant aunts and uncles is very on point. The second is I am so old that is all a distant memory, and I have not received money from relatives in a few years now. Like, I am so past that age where I am approaching the age where I should be the one starting to give the older people money, which is terrifying. And my husband's looking at me now like, we have to do what? Never told me this about Asian culture. Anyway, moving on.
I just realized that this reminds me of an auntie, because my aunt in China has the exact same turquoise puffy jacket minus
Oh my
the
god.
logo.
I think
Oh
I
my
think
god.
I have that jacket.
Oh my god!
Like, I
It's
wore
just,
it today.
triggered this distant memory image.
Anyway, what would we rate this out of 10?
I'd give it a
I'm
solid
gonna say
7.
4 again.
It's cute.
4 out of
I
7.
say 4.
Really? You give it a 7?
It's a 7. It's cute. It's era appropriate. It's age appropriate. It reminds
give
me
it a
of all the
6.
boys I had a crush on in high school.
I think I can see the Gatsby in his hair, which is why I'm giving it a 6.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm saying that I have this exact jacket. I'm looking at it right now. I'll take a picture for you later. I own this jacket. Anyway.
I don't think his attire should be factored into the hair because we're just evaluating hair, aren't we?
Yeah, but
well,
sticking with my 4. Sticking with my 4.
all right. Okay. So next one. Oh.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
But we're moving on to the next one.
See,
Oh yeah.
This is from one of the first Lunatic High games. Shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, baby. That good shit.
So I think also, can we agree that his my fucking god, sorry, I clicked on one of the later slides accidentally. Can we agree that there was also a later hairstyle kind of similar where he's wearing the blue uniform that's on
Yes.
par, almost as
That
good.
era is also as good.
Yeah, I didn't want to include that one as well because it was too similar, I felt.
Yeah.
This one kind of just represents Apex Season 2.
Yes.
Finally, some.
Yeah,
good
this was
fucking
one of the
food.
first Lunatic High games I ever saw. And I watched it. I was like, wait, is that the same guy? Because I knew him from the World Cup, which was an unfortunate era of his. If you remember his 2016 World Cup haircut, it was just a bowl cut. That was it. And that's how I remembered him. And then Apex Season 2, I was like, is that him? That's not the same person, right?
I
It
know,
was.
some good fucking food.
And that's the standard. That's the highest standard that I've had for his hair, and he has never reached it again, in my opinion. Never.
Nope.
What an idiot.
Well, it's just he's never really, had this what do we call it? This equilibrium, a forehead and hair.
With just a little bit of fade, like that's.
Yeah, there's a 2-block thing going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I would. 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, this is a solid 9.5.
How is this not a 10? This is like the apex of his hair. If you will. allow me the expression.
No, I mean that's very valid. If we're going by relative, like this is the highest peak, so sure we could call this a 10.
Yeah, okay. I was just saying 9 because I thought 10 sounded too strong.
I think the only other, aside from the blue jersey era, the only other era where his hair was this good was like back in like Danawa battle era.
Oh.
That was also very good.
Yeah, it's like the good ones kind of had the same like the good hairstyles kind of have the same like basic idea behind them.
Yeah, the same anatomy of a hairstyle.
Yeah. The same basic anatomy of a hairstyle. And he's never been able to recognize that that's what works for him, so it's his own fault.
We can't. I mean, there's only. What are we supposed to do?
We could have had it all.
Yeah.
Jaehyung just needs to grow eyes.
All right, moving on. I am very into the caption of this next one.
What, sheep Jaehyung in full force? This is the third stage on his pathway to man bun. Someone needs to take a pair of scissors to that mop. Seriously, like it is so big. It is like this is like developing into its own entity.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very endearing. He's just so fluffy. Like you want to pat him and like get your hands all up in that hair.
You know what it reminds me of is it reminds me of the sheep deputy mayor
Shrek.
in Zootopia.
I thought you were gonna say something. I thought you were talking about Shrek the sheep who ran away from his owners and hid in a cave for 6 years.
Shrek the sheep?
Yes. He ran off and then he hid in a cave for 6 years and just did not get sheared for 6 years.
Oh.
I
Did this happen in Australia? Where did this happen?
In New Zealand,
Oh, okay.
where they have more sheep than people.
Of course, it's a weird. I don't know. I still don't know how to pronounce it. Oceania thing.
Oceanic?
Oceanic thing.
Just say OCE like a gamer.
OCE thing. But yeah, I feel like in this picture specifically, I know we're not factoring this into the hairstyle, but like the bling as well.
Oh god, this bling.
Yeah, he's kind of flexing on all of us. But his hair really dampens that, I feel. Like, he's like, oh, look, I'm so rich. And it's like, if you're so rich, why can't you get a haircut, bitch? Like, he looks... His hair is growing out of control, and, like, the bling is the one thing in his life that is in his control.
It actually looks like you could lift it off his head entirely. That's how fluffy it is.
Bald Jaehong is the next stage. But yeah, ratings out of 10?
I can't go lower than a 5.
I think this is a 5.
I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as a 5. I would say it's about 6.
I think it's really
I just
cute.
really don't like it.
I just think it's so endearing. He's like a little fluffy poodle.
So what do you say, Sen?
I'm giving it a 5. Bet he could like hide vitamin hair gummies in that hair.
I can't believe I gave the highest score for this one. Jeez. Okay.
Also, what Sen said reminds me. My husband has used to have a very, very full head of very curly hair. He basically had a kind of a fro, even though he's white. And when he was growing up, kids on the bus would like put shit in his hair, and he wouldn't notice until he was like taking a shower, and like staples would fall out of his hair.
Oh my god.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay. The next one, Jaehong at the Overwatch World Cup 2017.
2017.
2017.
He wasn't on the team in 2018.
Yeah.
This
2017. I feel like the hair by itself was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
But even worse was the shock of it. Like, it was so sudden. Like, 2 weeks before, he had normal hair. And I was like, I've just accepted it as a universal fact that Ryujehong's gonna have normal hair at the World Cup. Like, that was my worldview. And then... that was my understanding of the world. And then he shows up, and, like... I remember, I think it was, like, an Instagram post or something that was first posted of him wearing, like, a cap or something. And people were like, dude, Ryujehong shaved his head. I was like, no way. No way. And I saw it, and it was so ugly. It was horrible. Like, you have to agree with me. It was terrible.
I think I was Stockholm syndromed into thinking it looked good.
Yeah, that is Stockholm syndrome. That's very classic. Yeah.
There's no other way you thought that looked good.
No.
No, there was this one photo. There was this one Instagram photo where he's wearing his like Balenciaga top with the face mask, and you know the face mask. It just showed the very tippy tip of his nose. And I just thought that was so cute. And seeing that with the hair, like somehow tricked my brain. Like my brain was like, oh, cute little nose tip poking out. His hair also maybe a little cute.
Yeah, I remember that was around the time Eska said, like, it was announced that Eska wasn't going to be going to Seoul Dynasty.
That was
and like, I made that joke that was like, Eska said, hey, so I'm not going to be joining Seoul Dynasty, and Jaron was like, was it because you're going to the military? And Eska's like, no, Jaron was like, it's because you're going to the military. I'm going to shave my head in solidarity with you, my friend. And Eska was like, no, whatever.
That's not okay.
Yeah, okay. And then, like, Jaehyung came back with a shaved head. Eska was like, yeah, I'm not going to the military, dude. And Jaehyung was like, oh. Now I gotta go to America with this haircut.
Yeah, my theory was that he found out that Eska wasn't going on Seoul Dynasty, and he just was, like, in a fit of pique, just shaved his head to show his friend how sad he was. Like, a fit of mourning, like, Eska's gone. I must mourn for my fallen comrades.
He googled how to deal with a breakup, and then the first thing's like, get a haircut. Jaehyung was like, I shall cut all my hair.
That is how you deal with a breakup. He wasn't
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, you give yourself bangs and you move on.
Yeah. Well, Jaehyung went the whole mile with that.
He really, really did. It was also not, like... It didn't help, like... Because this was also when I think he started to wear the bling really, like, publicly. And not just, you know, in his house or on stream or whatever. He, like, came outdoors with that bling, which was... and I, like, you know, there's a... Okay, as an aside, no one should ever be wearing the same style necklace, bracelet, and ring. Don't do it. Second aside, I will one day personally, like, steal and burn all of those goddamn Balenciaga sneakers that everyone appears to be wearing in Overwatch League. They're ugly as fuck. They don't make you look cool. They're expensive and stupid. Okay,
Yeah.
over.
A lot of rich people things are expensive and stupid.
But yeah, so again, I genuinely like this is my theme this week is I don't think these hairstyles exist in a vacuum. I think they exist like this one existed with the debut of the horrible Bling, and it
The
all
debut.
contributed to this like ajashi middle-aged man yakuza like vibe that he came out with. And like if you guys all remember that mukbang after they won the Overwatch World Cup in
Oh my
2017
god. Yes.
where like they're all eating steak and like they're like all exhausted. They're so exhausted. They just want to sleep, but the fans wanted to see them eat food after the freaking World Cup. And Jaehong's late and he comes over with his ugly ass hair and his ugly ass bling and he's like, "Where's my steak?" And I'm like, he's man spreading onto that table, I can tell. He's just yeah, this is all of this was like such a traumatic memory.
The thing is, Jaehong has always had that ajushi energy. This is
He
what brought it
has.
to the forefront of people's attention.
Indeed. Indeed. Yeah, so this is a 3 for me.
I'm going lower. 2.
Oh!
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
We're going there.
I know Sen
I
self-professed can't go below a 5.
can't go below a 5, but for this, a 3.
Oh, wow. It happened.
This is a true.
it's
The
pretty
reveal
heinous.
was a truly traumatic moment.
Okay, sorry. This next slide, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Bonnie.
Okay,
What is this?
someone posted this and said that he put this on Instagram a few days ago. So I've
my
captioned it an
God.
ominous portent. It seems to be a picture of the top of his head, with his hair slicked back. And I don't like it. It makes me feel very uncomfortable. But I felt that I had to include it
If you-
because it's a sign of what's to come.
If you look at his hairline, you can see the black there isn't all natural. So, is he graying?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I swear to God, if Jaehyun comes out of that stage with slicked back hair a la Kelix, I'm gonna fucking lose my shit. I'm gonna
I
trade
would
him away
be-
in my fantasy draft. I believed
No,
in
I would-
him.
I would be disgustingly into it because I love
Oh,
slimy
you know what? That
men.
should be actually a future episode of our fantasy drafts.
Oh yeah.
I don't even. I was on a farm when my fantasy league got drafted.
It's okay,
so-
we can just make it ourselves. Like
Oh.
we don't need to like steal players from each other.
So, just as a heads up, I found the Instagram post, and Mono commented asking, "What is this?" And Jaehong commented back saying, "I dyed it."
I'm telling you, he's graying.
He's graying.
That's black hair dye. That's black. You can see it.
I can't believe he's an old man. I can, but oh,
Alrighty.
he's decrepit. Jesus.
He's graying.
He
Oh
really
wait,
is.
no. If you look at the photo from 13th of January, you can see white hairs. You can see white hairs.
Yeah. I just noticed
Oh my
that.
god.
He actually is graying.
Oh my god,
great,
Jaehyung's an
no.
old man.
I mean, he
I
is
just
approaching
see-
30.
I just see the stress of having to care for all these youngsters in Overwatch League is finally getting to him.
He has to do it alone now because Eska's not with him.
Guido's
He's
messed
born-
with him one too many
He has to do it
times.
himself.
91. Yeah, he was born 1991, so he's not that far off from 30. I gotta say.
Yeah, he's the only old man on the team now.
Is he the
He doesn't
oldest
have
in the
his-
league?
No, that's cool, Matt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Coolmat's like 29 or something. Or 30 now, I don't know.
Yeah.
Gamers rise up.
Gamers rise up. Okay. So, out of I don't think we can even rate this because it's not even like strictly a hairstyle, it's just like a teaser, a snippet.
Yeah, but the next one is so good.
So I'll just leave it on this slicked back hair makes me feel extremely uncomfortable, and we'll move
Good.
on to our final hairstyle. Which is I'd never seen this picture before today, but someone shared it with me, and it's very interesting. It is Ryujehong's head being devoured by a black monster. And I'm not sure where or when this was taken, but Oh. But yeah, it looks like a cloud on his head.
So this actually, I think, Sen, this photo takes us straight to Shrek the sheep. This one right here.
Shrek the sheep. That's Shrek.
Shrek the sheep.
This is the sheep that escaped from its pen, lived out in decay for 6 years, and now literally cannot function because it's overgrown. Because sheep do actually have to be sheared. This is what we're. This is not a hairstyle. It is a situation.
That's not Jaehong anymore. That's just the thing.
No,
on
it's
his
the
head is
hair.
sentience.
The hair is the hair is the entity now. The rest of it is just a body that it grew.
Yeah. Like the hair is like venom, like it's a parasite, and he's just and the body is a host.
Yeah, it owns the host body now. Jesus Christ.
So, in which case, like, is this something we can even rate if it's its own entity now? It's not even a hair. Like, we can't even call this a hairstyle.
Yeah, this is just something that emerged out of him. It erupted from his head.
Like the alien erupting out of the astronaut's chest, but this time it's his.
Oh
Yeah,
my
exactly.
God.
He was just like, well, I guess this is happening now. He was super cool with it.
I think this was a solid list.
I think the only thing we didn't include was like alpha buzz cut from when he was in the military, but photos of those are rare.
Yeah.
Buzzcut Alpha. Yeah, I'm not gonna go searching for that one. I wouldn't even know where to start, but
I
Sen,
have
I'm sure
my
you could
sources.
find it. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
is this
Sen.
it? Well, thank you for listening to our Overwatch League star Ryujehong's hair. Does he have any? What hairstyle does he have? Let's find out. Or also known as the Hot Pot Podcast. You can find us at OWHotPot on Twitter, so you can talk to us that way and let us know if there's any topics you guys want to hear us discuss that don't involve Ryujehong's hair. Yes, as always, thanks for listening!